Hey y'all, what's going on?
How's everybody today? What it do, ladies and gentlemen? What it do? It's your boy. SBK, coming to you live and direct. Shout out to King Ernest. We got that from King Ernest. Shout out to King Ernest. What up? Come on in.
But y'all hit the like button, man. Y'all hit the like button.
Y'all come on in and holler at your boy, man. I just want to say hi to my peeps. What's up to my peeps? You know what I mean? And we're going to have some fun, you know what I mean? We always have fun. Shout out to everybody. Come on in, the bar's open, man. Come on in, ladies and gentlemen. What it do? on in. Come on in. Come on in. Come on. Come on. Come on. Shut up. Salute. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Hit the like button. Come on. Come on in. Live after the live. Come on. Hit the like button. Come on in. Come on in. Come on. Come on in. Hey, 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 hey. What up? What up, y'all? What up, what up, what up, what up? Y'all hit the like button as you come on in. I won't be long. I won't be long. I'm just a very, 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 very grateful man tonight. I will drop the link. I was just co-hosting a live. I hope you guys saw it. And I was on a live with this young lady here. And man, I had a wonderful, 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 wonderful time. As soon as she ends her live, she's gonna hop up and we're just, the party of the after party, you know what I mean? We just had, if y'all were over there, we were double streaming today. Candy Cane Lane and myself. First off, I want to give a huge shout out to my peer, Alice, the blessed child of God. I want to say I love you, and I one love to you, man. I got love for you. I highly respect you. You don't know how many people, Alice, that you have touched and have influenced on here on IG. The super chat. Shout out to my boy, OSD, one of the realest content creators on YouTube. Bro, you're just a real one, bro. You know what I'm saying? You're just a real one. And you know what time it is? You know what I mean? He is, I've interviewed him. I've been on his panel. He's been on mine. Somebody that I've learned a lot from. So shout out for that super chat, bro. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Keep doing your thing. Keep doing your thug thizzle. You know what I mean? I appreciate you. But I want to say, shout out again to my peer, Alice, the blessed child of God. It all started with her. I got somebody up here. I'll go ahead. If you ain't picking your nose, I'm going to go ahead and bring you up here. Oh, yo, go ahead and bring you up here. Add you to the stage. What up? I'm going to drop the link so, anybody else wants to come up. But I want to say, first off, I don't like talking about myself at all. At all, man. But I was tricked, and I was bamboozled, and all of that this week. I'll shout out the chat in just a few minutes. I got home training, y'all. So I was tricked and bamboozled by Alice and this one right over here that's over here in denial with that look on her face. We'll explain that in a later. But I do want to thank, seriously, I want to thank Alice for bringing me on her panel earlier this week, Thursday. That was really therapeutic, and tonight was therapeutic as well. I gotta really, my heart is really full right now. I'm really a happy father. This country celebrates Father's Day tomorrow, and I really wasn't planning on doing an impromptu live like this, but I wanted to do this anyways because I wanted to let you, Tap In family, SBK Media family, we're all the same. The Candy Cane Lane, function over there, we're all the same. I just want to let y'all know how much I appreciate y'all, man. And this is just the aftermath of the live. Candy Cane said as soon as she ends that live, she's gonna come over for a few minutes, hit the panel. But let me salute the chat right quick, and we'll get started on this, man. Let me turn this music down just a little bit more. I got a guest up here, and we'll let her speak. But the only Just Jay, what's going on, Just Jay? Salute. Tina Marie, the beautiful Tina Marie is in the chat. Salute. Mimi, how are you, love? Good to see you. My bro, the attorney, Kevin Corbin is in the building. Salute. Who else we got up in here? Of course, you heard the bestie. Like, share, and subscribe. If you and do that. And my peer, we'll get into my peer again. I want to say shout out to my peer. I'm going to get into that again. Thank you, Just Jay. Thank you. Who else we got up in here? The lovely Bay Area, baby. What it do? Again, I want to say shout out to my boy OSD for the super chat. I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you. Thank you. I appreciate you. The little butterfly, how are you, love? Blessings to you as well. Thank you. I'm making sure I don't miss anybody. Hey, Cedric, how are you, sir? Thank you for coming through, sir. Thank you. I appreciate you. I'm trying not to miss anybody. And all you ghost watchers out there, I appreciate y'all, man, for stopping by. Thank you. I hope you guys are doing well. All right. So I was just on Candy Cane Lane's panel, and I am, Joe, you shared a panel with me with Alice, the blessed child of God. And I got a happy heart. I have a full heart right now. I really do. I really do, man. I have a happy heart. You got anything you want to add on this or whatever? I'm going to drop the link, but I don't want any weirdos coming up here talking about nonsense. You know what I'm saying? No weirdos or because only positive vibes. I won't be long tonight. You know what I'm saying? So, Joe, the floor is yours. What you got to say? You're on mute.
Sorry. Thank you. We just came over from that panel you were on, I have to say it was a great live. It was a great live, a great, uh, even though I stayed on, I was on until the end. And I have to say, everyone had a different perspective, everyone had different views, but there was no bickering, no, you know, it was great. It was great.
I
And I
re-
just had to mention that. And I love the different topics that were mentioned, from the spectrum, from parenting. I mean, all of it. It was really good. It was really, and someone mentioned a statement that is very true. Um, everything that we as content creators that are, I don't know what kind of, Miss Alice says, she likes to call herself a positive, um, I don't know if you would call, what kind of sector it is, right? But it's, whatever type of sector it is that we're all a part of, it's all something that's going to be a playbook
yep,
for the future
yep,
generation.
yep.
And that's what we need to, that's something that I wanted to touch on. We need to realize that what and that it's true, because what we are experiencing today, it didn't just happen. Like everything we are going through right now, yeah, in every part or every facet of life, it's not something that just fell from under the sun. It's not something that is just, it just happened. No, it's been a long time in the making. Even AI, y'all. I know someone personally who worked on developing AI, and they've been working on it for more than 10 years. This is just something that it's not new under the sun. It's been developed. It's been, so, and I just say that to say everything we are doing now, it is for future generations. So everything we're putting out here, we're trying to, it's for the future generations that are coming up, and we need to be those examples. We need to stop trying to fight against everything and complain about everything that's been in the, I mean, even if you want to talk about the current administration, how long has it been? I mean, we need to start preparing for the next administration. We need to stop trying to fight against everything. And I'm not saying conform to anything either, but we need to stay smart and continue trying to learn, and don't just say, "Oh, F it," and we can't do nothing about it. You need to stay involved, and you need to get more involved because you see what's happened. And I just wanted to put that out there. And I'm talking about parenting, I'm talking about everything, everything. And that's what I just wanted to give my 2 cents. Hey,
I,
fantastic.
hey, fantastic. Hey, Queen. I said what I said. Thank y'all for coming through. Thank y'all. The link is pinned at the top. Uh, it's interesting that, and we'll let the attorney speak. Um, but it's interesting that you say that we can lose focus on the everyday responsibilities by just looking at the orange man up there making a fool out of himself, farting and shitting on himself. You know what I mean? Uh, Making a bumbling idiot out of himself. You know what I mean? That's a known fact. You know what I mean? You know, he's got dementia. He's on his way out of here, folks. You know what I'm saying? He's about to go to the land of the living. But after he's pushing up daisies, we still have to deal with things. You know what I'm saying? We still got to raise our kids. We got grandchildren to raise, and we got nieces and nephews. We got jobs to tend to. Our responsibilities have not gone anywhere. You know what I'm saying? So, but I want to say this here, and I'm going to let And I want to say shout out to Alice and shout out to Candy Cane Lane. They so far this year, probably two of the best. Not because I've been involved in those, because there's one uh, Disrupt and Discuss with It's Just ETV and KC. They had a not a premiere, but a video that very much impacted me as well. But um, two live streams this week, man, that really have hit home. You know what I mean? And I wasn't expecting it to hit home. You know what I mean? Because uh, some things, whenever you talk about it and it hits home, it resonates with you, and it's like, damn, you've come a long ways, bro. You know what I mean? You've come a long ways, and that's where you at. Um, what you say? Shit, I'm combing my granddaughter's hair, so nice language. Oh, okay, I got you. She's laughing at me. Okay, I try not to do that. Happy Juneteenth weekend. Happy Father's Day to you, bro. Salute, salute. Jimbo, get your ass up here. Get your ass up here on the panel, bro. This is not the get your you know what up here and get on up here. Get on up here. This is not the bar, but it's just like the bar, but get on up here. The link is pinned. So Kevin Corpenden, what is
Yes,
going
sir.
on? What's happening, bro? What's happening with you?
I can't call it. But I'm going to piggyback off what you said last night.
Okay.
I was listening. I was not scared. I was just laying back and listening. That's all. That nobody had me scared or nothing. I was just laying back and listening. So I just hope I answered your question.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, I ain't gonna be up here too long.
Okay.
I just want to wish all the fathers out there happy Father's Day or what have you. Um, and all the fathers stand up and take care of their kids if they have any. If they don't, cool. Um, and yes, I was in your other live too. You must didn't see me, but I was there.
Yeah, I could speak up like I could, because
I know
when
you was in a deep conversation with a lot of people. I understand.
yeah, and then when you double streaming like that on StreamYard, it's like
Yeah,
it's you don't have control over things, even though you are
yeah,
double streaming.
I get it.
Hey, hey, Curie, how you doing, love? Y'all go subscribe up to her, man. Wonderful, beautiful lady. Thank you for coming through. Go ahead,
I
Kevin.
mean, I get it, man. Y'all was having a deep conversation. I get it, and I know you can't shout out everybody all the time. I get it. I ain't nearly
Yeah,
this. So I get it. I mean, Joe be like that too sometimes when I pop in her live though, but I don't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's all love. But you know, but
right.
FBK, man, like I always say, man, just keep doing what you're doing, man. People gonna hate on both of y'all regardless whatever you do in life. So you just gotta keep pushing in life, bro.
Absolutely, absolutely. Kevin, I've always said this, bro. You one of those day ones. I appreciate you. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I appreciate you coming through, uh, sharing your thoughts, and
Hmm.
I appreciate it, bro. I appreciate it. You know what I mean? I appreciate it.
No
As
problem.
always.
And Joe the always the quiet one, but don't let that smile fool you. You know what I'm
Uh,
saying?
that's for sure.
Joe let it go
I'm
when she need to,
innocent.
though.
I'm
Joe,
innocent.
you not innocent. I ain't buying that. You better tell somebody else don't know no better. You know what I'm saying? But Joe not mess with her all the time. She know it's all love though. But SBK, man, keep doing your thing, man. And like
I
I
appreciate
always tell you all the time, man, people gonna hate on you regardless, good or bad. So you just gotta be the better man at the end of the day. You know what I'm
that.
saying? Because at the end of the day, you gonna shine, they not. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Long as you keep you and your daughter as your focus, man, you good.
Facts.
And that's the main goal, bro. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying?
Absolutely.
But all y'all have a good night and peace and love in the chat. And they stole my quote, by the way, but it's all good though. I'm gone.
That stole your quote, bro. That stole your quote.
Yeah, you and E, but it's all love though. Y'all can have it, man. I done said it so much, y'all just take it. So I ain't tripping on it though.
I hear you. Is that the attorney?
I SBK, man, don't get too drunk, man. I want you up here slurring, then you can't remember nothing.
No, man. It's never that. Never that.
I SBK, but I don't care what you say, man. You know you the lover man of the show, man. Don't act innocent, man. I see what you do, man. Don't do that.
I am innocent.
You have your women fans. I'm gonna just leave it at that.
I
You know
don't
what I'm
know.
saying?
I don't know what you're talking about, bro.
You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Don't do that. Don't do that. See, SBK, I'm trying to help you out, man, because I see you up here be getting jumped by E and all them, man. See, I'm trying to help you out, man. Just accept it, man. Don't hide it.
I plead the fifth, bro. I plead the fifth. You see Alice is already laughing at you. I plead the fifth.
But it's true, though. I mean, it's true, SBK. Just say you the man. That's all you got to say, man. You ain't got to lie. Just say it. Just a bit.
I don't know. I do
See,
not.
SBK. See, this is what I say about SBK all the time, man. SBK is the humblest dude I know, man. But I know the real him, man. I see the. but
Not know, man. I do not know what you mean. I know what you're talking about. I don't.
SBK, man. Go ahead and play that innocent look, man. But I know the real you. That's all I'm gonna say, man. I'm gonna let you live, man. I'm gonna let you live.
Man. Damn.
I see how you be doing on Tap In, man, when the ladies come in, man. You ain't got to love, man. You ain't got to love.
I have nothing.
All right, SBK, man. I'm gonna let you do your thing, man. I'm gone.
Salute, bro.
Salute, man.
And the lady of the hour. Oh, where'd she go? I don't know. Come on back up, Candy Cane. I don't know what happened to you. I don't know what happened. Candy Cane Lane was up here. Come on back up here, Candy Cane. I don't know what's going on. You dropped yourself? But anyways, I want to say shout out to Candy Cane Lane again and Alice, the blessed child of God, for having me speak on things that I haven't spoken on before, you know what I mean? But, I really haven't spoken on a lot of things before, but I appreciate you. Oh, there she goes. What's going on, love?
Hey, I'm sorry. I had to drop because I was trying to get my Bluetooth to connect. I'm actually on my way back home right now, and it was not connecting.
Okay, it's all good. Look, first of all, that is not just because I was on it, but that was an outstanding live that I had the privilege of being on. And I wanted you to be on the panel as an after party, after live stream, whatever, you know what I mean? To let you know, and I really appreciated your platform and allowing me to speak, because really, to be honest with you, between you and Miss Alice, I spoke about briefly with another content creator a couple of years back, but between y'all two, you and Alice, it's almost like therapy to speak and talk about things that I've actually lived, I actually feel great. You know what I'm saying? And so, and feel great about talking about it. So I just want to say I appreciate the panel and the folks that you had. You know, you always have a live panel and different
Hmm.
perspectives. It's always respectful, even though you were outside yesterday. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
But
man.
but you know, you got to do what you got to do. You know, what I mean? You got to do what you got to do. But um, I want your look in your words. I want your thoughts about tonight's panel because it was just it was great, man. It had a special type of mojo to it because of people just being honest about what's going on today. I don't know if it's because of the Austin Metcalf and Carmelo Anthony effect thing, and then we just reeling it back in and
Hmm.
uh, making things reality. But I just want to let you know, man, that was a great live. You know what I mean? I just had fun listening to you and all of the other panelists. And so, if you would, in your own words, tell me about tonight's panel and why you had the panel and what you thought about it tonight. I know you just ended it a few minutes ago. In your words, just break it all break it all the way down. I know you can't be here long, but break it all the way down for us.
Well, the main thing I like the fact that I have a large like age gap. Is that the word I'm looking for? I
Mhm.
like the fact that there are multiple generations that will come and engage in these conversations. Um, I think it makes for a much conversation.
Yeah, you still there?
You see, we had a couple of teachers, even
Yep.
um, one of your people joined the panel and was a teacher. So that's what I'm sorry. Hold on, let me mute for 1 second.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. And what while she's muted up, Joe was in the chat, and y'all, if y'all missed it, one of my mods, y'all put Candy Cane's, y'all put her link in the chat. Y'all go subscribe up to her or whatever, and y'all put each other's link in the chat. Alice, uh, uh, I said what I said. Y'all put y'all's link in the chat so we can all support each other. But she had some teachers on the panel. She had some elder. I know Alice. Alice, you're gonna get on to me. She had some elder statesmen. Alice don't like for me to say that, but she had some elder folks on there, man, and just speaking game. But go ahead, Candy, if you're able to speak.
So I had, mothers, fathers, some people who, haven't actually had kids yet. It was a nice group of people who came to, weigh in and give their opinions on the situation. And I think it was appropriate because, like I said, with the whole Carmelo Anthony thing and um, Austin Metcalf, and then we're discussing the parents and raising the kids. And, it's a lot going on in the world right now, even down to the young man, even though we didn't bring it up, but I did kind of want to, the child case,
Mm-hmm.
Rick Child, and
Mm-hmm.
that young man who, like, with the whole saying that these kids have to be prepared when they leave their homes to be treated like an adult. That was a teenage boy who was ran down and deleted like he was a full grown adult male over bottles of water he never took.
Right.
So it was a
Right.
good conversation all the way around to me because I got to hear all the different perspectives and everybody brought something intelligent. Like people weren't up there to play around, like not to play around. It's okay to joke, right? But
Right.
I didn't have anybody up there like intentionally being a contrarian or trolling. Like people came to participate.
Yeah. 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 And that's what I loved about it, because even though there were different perspectives, and by the way, this is Candy Cane Lane's. Y'all go subscribe up to her or whatever. This is her channel. Y'all go subscribe up to her, man. Her Alice, put your link in the chat in as well. Uh, uh, Cure's World, put your link in the chat as well. You know what I'm saying? Uh, I said what I said. Those y'all put y'all's link in the chat. Y'all know what time it is.
I I like the fact that we did a simulcast and I got to introduce you to my audience because I
and
noticed a lot of people definitely took to you. I saw the hey, I like this guy. He's got a good perspective in the chat. I said, see, this is what it's all about. This
I
is what
didn't.
it's about.
I saw a little bit, but I didn't really see a chat reaction. I saw. I was basically. I was hanging on every word and every question that you were asking me, and I was trying to answer the right way, uh,
Hmm.
and and answer honestly the best way I could. Fantastic. Put your link in this chat as well, love. I was trying to, but I saw a couple of comments. You know, people were like, "Hey, I understand where you're coming from, bro."
Hmm.
Uh, um, the coach Ferg, the other teacher, those guys, you know, even the one that you was outside with, I'm not no names. You was outside, even though you was outside with it, y'all done, made up or whatever. You know, she brought a interesting point of view,
Hmm.
but my boy Lou, he was, he was up on the panel as well. Um, I just like the way that's the goal that I have is to have I have panels like that, but your lane that your candy cane lane, as no pun intended, I mean pun intended. You got something going on over there. You know what I'm saying? So um, I just want to say that I really had a really wonderful time. The goal for me is before the month's out. This month is men's mental health.
Hmm.
So I usually have a all male panel and I have an all ladies panel. So before this month is out, I'd like to have an all male panel. I like those guys that you got on there. So we'll have an all male panel, and they're welcome to share the thoughts. But I really those guys, man, Coach Ferg and the other guys, those guys, they I like listening to guys like that. They just give it to you raw and uncut.
Coach
Uh,
Ferg is funny. He is a character. I definitely do enjoy having him around for sure with his perspective.
yeah, his perspective is like I messaged you. He is raw and uncut, and somebody who is just has just a simple way of thinking would kind of like misunderstand. I understood everything he was talking about. You know what I mean? Because he's got those old school, no nonsense type values, and so and like I was being very honest, and that young lady that was teacher, I was like, man,
May, yeah.
I would want my daughter to listen to them because the world is not going to talk. The world will eat up people who are weak. You know what I mean? And so
Hmm.
I was listening to them. They're educators. You can tell they're just not talking. They are out there in the real world and they're dealing with our young people. And so I really appreciate that panel, man. I was just sitting there listening and I was amazed. I was like, man, that's these are some folks that actually have something to say. You know what I'm saying?
Some substance to him, some knowledge, some experience. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. This is my bro Jimbo. What up, Jimbo? What's up, bro? What's up, fam? Can you hear me?
Hello, Jimbo.
What
What's
it do,
good?
bro?
What's good?
What's good with you? What's good with you?
How y'all doing?
Good.
Uh,
How are you?
Not
we up
much.
here vibing. Candy Cane. This is my bro Jimbo. Been knowing him for years. This is family. You know what I'm saying? And he was in the chat. I don't know if you were paying attention. He was in the chat, and he was in the bushes listening. You know what I'm saying? And so, Jimbo, I was we were simultaneously doing a live stream. We were double streaming basically. And Candy Cane is one of those. She's a real one, bro. She's a real one. Talking about some, she's a real one. You know what I mean? So go check her out, bro. But um, she's a real one. And so we were talking about, she invited me on her panel, talk about being a single father and all that type of stuff. But then we invited some other folks um, on the panel. We started talking about parenthood, started talking about all sorts of stuff. What's going on, fathers, single parents, and all that.
Hmm.
And, yeah, that's what's up. So, Candy Cane, you got you I know you can't stay up here long. You know what I'm saying? You can
Hmm.
stay up here as long as you want to. But what I'm saying, but I just want to say, again, um, we need folks like you that's just gonna be raw and uncut. You know what I mean? So I know you're gonna have a lot of obstacles ahead of you as a content creator, but keep doing your thing, man. Keep doing your thing. And are you almost monetized or what?
I am like 50 watch hours away from being able to get monetized.
Oh, well,
And
yes, you got that 50 tonight, right?
I hope so. I hope so. I've been trying. As you can see, I've been cranking out those lives as much as I can. But yeah, I mean, it's not just to crank them out to get monetized. I don't want to make it sound like that. I care about putting out good content, excluding yesterday. Yesterday, we're going to pretend didn't happen. But other than that, I care about putting out like good content and making sure that like I'm adding substance to the space. That's my goal.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I appreciate you highlighting. I by any means, I'm not a perfect individual. You know what I mean? But
Hmm.
you have me on your platform, and I appreciate you. Jimbo, this young lady in the middle right here, bro, uh, is a very beautiful young lady, but she was outside yesterday, last night. Outside, and she had to check a couple of individuals. You know what I'm saying? And so, when a sister is checking individuals, and she's playing a playback of her of a live stream that she was doing, right? You can actually see uh, facial expressions that tell a story. You know what I mean? So
I
this is what
told you, I don't have a poker face. That's why when I do my streams, I stay cam down. I cam up on like other people's like panels if that's what they require. But for my own sanity, because you're gonna read my face the whole way through. I don't need you doing that. So I
yeah,
stay cam down. I have zero poker face.
bro. She ain't lying. She has no kind of poker face at all because if there's if there's a level of disgust or anything, it all shows. You know what I'm saying? If there's no lying in her facial expressions, you know what I'm saying? So I had a I was just entertained by her yesterday, but yeah. Jimbo, Jimbo, what's up, bro? You all right?
I'm good, bro. Chilling. I just been up.
I would
Just
say happy Father's Day to you, bro. One love to you.
same to
Uh,
you, bro. Same to you.
I appreciate you. One love to you. You know what it is, man. I appreciate you hopping on panel. I had to call you out and come up and chill with you, bro. I ain't gonna be long, but what you got? What you got? You got something on your heart? You got something to say?
Nah, man. Just been chilling, bro.
I hear you.
Working, grinding, just keeping my head above water, bro. That's all.
Absolutely.
Just
Absolutely.
popped up here, popped in to check on you, say what's up. You called me out, so I ain't been up here for a minute. So
Yeah, for sure, for sure. But like I said, bro, when you get a chance, uh, subscribe to this young lady here in the middle. You know what I mean? Like I said, I did a double stream with her and just some real shit, some real shit. Go ahead, Ken. Go ahead. Go ahead. The floor is
I
yours.
have to drop, gentlemen. I want to say happy Father's Day to you both. If I don't talk to you before tomorrow,
appreciate
and it was a very good time. I appreciate you coming over, SBK. I really do.
Absolutely. Anytime. And the you know, you're welcome over here anytime. You know what I'm saying? Any ideas? You know what I'm saying? Hit up your boy. You know what I mean?
Will do.
Absolutely. Be safe. Are you driving?
Oh, I'm home. I'm back home now. I was
Oh,
driving earlier, but I'm back
okay.
home now.
All right, well, be safe, and I appreciate you hopping up. I appreciate your panel, and I appreciate you.
Thank you. You all have a good night. Until next time.
All right, take
Absolutely.
care.
Take care, bro. I appreciate you coming up, bro. What you got? What you got? What you about to get into?
What I got into, I just got home.
Oh, you just got into. You got home.
Yeah, I went to a Juneteenth event, man. It was a good vibe.
Okay. Okay.
So,
I was supposed to go into a Juneteenth parade, but I couldn't because my with my company we were supposed to be in a parade today. I couldn't do it because I was stuck at I was so much behind at work, and I told my boy I was like, man, I can't do it. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Ninjas was out here partying and everything. I had to be at work. So
Yeah, man, it's hot down here, but it was turned up, man. It was just good. It was just good energy, man. I really had a good time. So I just got home, been drinking. Hey, man, we've been drinking Tito's since probably about 4:30 this afternoon.
Since 4:30 this afternoon.
Yeah, bro. Just like I don't know. You get into good conversations, man. Good energy, good aura. Next thing you know, you turn your head real quick, and you like, whoa.
Shit, man. That's what it's all about, man. That's what it's all about, man. That's what it's all about. Man, like I said, I worked today and I was supposed to be a part of a parade, a Juneteenth parade, but I was like, I couldn't work. And then day before, hold on. Day before yesterday, Candy Cane that was in the middle right here. It's like, you going live Saturday? I wasn't planning on it. You know what I mean? And then Alice, this one right here, bro. This right here. I don't know if you was in the chat or not. I don't know if you caught any of it, but she did a live, right? And her live was called "Can Single Fathers Successfully Raise Daughters?" That's exactly the title of her live, right? So she kind of set me up and asked Joe, hey, get SBK involved, right? So I get up there, I get up on the panel or whatever, and I'm waiting in the backstage to come up, and Alice starts talking, and she starts talking like, yeah, I want to honor a father to, this afternoon. Like, the fuck? I thought maybe I was going to contribute to the conversation. You know what I mean? I thought maybe I was asked to contribute to the conversation or whatever, but so I just got off work, right? So I'm like, let me, so she's like, man, I've been watching this, my peers, she called me and her call each other peers, and I feel like he's a good example of a blah, 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 blah. I'm like, man, y'all set me up on the okie doke. Here comes Joe up on the panel, you know what I'm saying? And they had all of this set up. Bro. All of this set up. And it was all about me. I'm very grateful. Exactly. I was very grateful. But it's also therapeutic, bro. It was also therapeutic, you know what I mean? Because you and I both know that almost 10 years ago, I remember you hit me up on the back end. You was like, say, man, keep your head up, because when my daughter's mom passed away, man, that was a you know what I'm saying, that's a huge event, because not long before that my mom had passed away. So and you had lost your father, you know what I'm saying. So not to bring up any bad times or whatever, but during that whole ordeal, you know what I'm saying, during that time period, we lost some people that are dear to us. So to me, it was like therapy. You understand? It was like therapy, that's kind of like talking to Alice and talking to Candy Cane Lane, especially in what we're dealing with right now with Father's Day. You know what I'm saying? Fathers are hard to come by, bro. You know what I mean? And I'm not talking about the absentee fathers. I'm talking about the fathers that are involved. You know what I mean? So um, go ahead and interrupt me anytime you want to. Say something, bro. Go ahead.
Nah, man, I remember that day when your daughter mom passed away.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that was one of those things where, man, I'll never forget that. You reached out to me. You one of those folks that reached out to me, man, gave me encouragement. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? And now here we are. You know what I mean? So that's damn near 10 years ago, bro. You know what I mean? So, but
yeah,
you know,
we got to keep rocking and rolling, bro. You know,
yeah, we got to keep rocking and rolling. You know what I mean?
on life.
That's you know, you win some and you lose some, and that's the way I look at it. You know what I mean? Ain't no crying in baseball. They say ain't no crying in baseball. You win some and you lose some, and you gotta do what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? You gotta
Yeah,
do what
man.
you-
But shout out to you, man. You've been a great father. I've been able to observe it from a distance and a phone call away. You know, you do your thing, bro. You keep doing your thing. Continue to be an awesome father. Don't forget to take time out to enjoy life yourself. For me, this Father's Day, this would make Father's Day number 3 for me without my pops. It's
Yep.
pretty cool. It's pretty cool, man. You know what I'm saying? He had the opportunity to live a full life, and I'm grateful for him. But I was at work this week,
right.
and it was crazy. I was at work, and out of nowhere, I was like, "Damn, I miss my pop's phone calls." You know what I'm saying? It was crazy because when he was physically here, I used to be like, "This man get on my goddamn nerves." You know, because he would call about he was up in age, and he was dealing with diabetes, and I was like I was like the child. I'm the oldest, and I'm like the child he trusts, but he was calling for everything. And I say this, bro. I wish I could have an opportunity for him to aggravate me again, bro.
Absolutely.
Because throughout every conversation he called and I felt annoyed, the man was dropping gems that I didn't take heed to at the time he was saying it. But now that he gone,
You understand?
man, I see it crystal clear. And especially now when you're like the patriarch, because you're the oldest child, so it's like everything.
Yep. It's
Yeah, bro. So it's like I have become so comfortable with saying no, and he used to always tell me that. Like he was like, "You gotta." One time he told me, he said, "Why you always changing your cell phone number?" And I was like, "Cause it's people I want to deal with." And he was like, "Man, you gotta." You don't let nobody change your cell phone number because you're in control of answering it.
Right.
And I was just like, it's true. And he was like, you got to learn to tell people no.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
That's that old ninja.
He was like, you start telling people no, that phone gonna stop ringing. So it's like little things like that, man. That when they hear you don't really like lock in and sit there and let it resonate with you. But when they gone, bro, it's like, sheesh, old man out of there. But he got me right. He got us right, man, with everything he did. So it's all good, you know.
Yeah, man.
Great Father's Day. Keep being good fathers. Try to lead by example, man. And that's all, bro.
Facts. I told a story of my pops, whatever, man, and in Candy Cane Lane's chat, I was like, man, you know, this ninja used to discipline me, like, man, don't ask no damn questions. You know what I'm saying? Don't ask no damn questions. Do as I say, not as I do type mentality. And some of the lessons that I learned from my pops, you know what I mean? He didn't even know he was teaching me. You know what I mean? He didn't even know he was teaching me until, you know, I got grown, and you know what I'm saying? And I appreciate it. And those are the most important lessons, bro. It's the lessons that they didn't know that they were teaching us. You know what I'm saying? Like you just talk about the cell phone. You know what I mean? What you know what I'm saying? Why you change your cell phone?
Yeah, that shit. That used to irk bro. That used to irk his nerve, bro. I used to call from a number, and he would have my sister save like our numbers in his phone. The man would not answer no number that wasn't saved in his phone. So I would get a new number and I would just blow it up, like call, and I'm like, and so he wouldn't answer. He'll wait. Like I had to call my sister or my brother and be like, hey, y'all at Daddy house? And if they say yeah, I'll be like, I'm about to call his phone. And then he'll get one of them to answer, and they'd be like, oh, that's him. And then he'd be like, changing your number for it, and this and that. But it's also the meeting of two male egos, because I'm a young adult.
Right.
OG.
Right.
Kind of like Pops, I'm a grown man now. You can't be talking to me any kind of way.
Right.
And sometimes, that shit get in the way. Excuse me, that stuff get in the way.
Oh, you cuss? Because I said what I said. You cuss, bro.
All right, you miss an important lesson, because now you on some like, I love you, Daddy, but you ain't finna talk to me any kind of way. And then he up there dropping real game on you, man, stuff like that. So, it's cool, bro. But he's greatly appreciated. He's extremely missed. But yeah, he'll probably tell me like, man, don't worry about me. You still down there in that shit. I'm good.
That's the same shit that my daddy would say.
I'll be like, you need to be worried about you. Right? Don't worry about me. I'm good. I done made it through them gates. It's your ass down there and all that shit.
That's exactly what my pops would say to me, man. Crying about me for, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
We got, hey, Texas T-Cat, what's going on, love? Tell my boy Fenici I said, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? You know who this individual is, bro. You already know.
Yeah. That's sister.
Hey, Jimbo.
What's up, sis?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. It's been a minute since I've been up here on this thing. I'm good.
I know. Happy Father's Day. I just wanted to tell you.
Appreciate that, sister. Appreciate that.
But both of y'all too, man. As far as Father's Day is concerned, I know how much both of y'all's fathers mean to y'all. You know what I mean? Because I know y'all personally, and I know I've been around since both of y'all have lost y'all's fathers. But I know how much they mean to y'all. You know what I'm saying? So, Joe, you heard what Jimbo said. You know what I mean? Jimbo, the way he's explaining his pops is the same. It's kind of like similar to mine. Now, look, my pops, you know what I'm saying? He was not a perfect individual at all. Candy Cane Lane asked me about today's rearing of your children versus the way they reared us, you know what I mean? But I appreciate the way my mom and my dad raised us. I really do, you know what I'm saying? There's certain things I take away from the way they rear us and I use it today. There's certain things I don't take, you know what I'm saying? But I have learned they were some wise folks, you know what I'm saying? And Jimbo, I don't know if you know this or not, but Joe knows this, but my folks had me at a very late age, you know what I'm saying? So they had me in their 40s. They had me and my brother in the 40s, you know what I'm saying? So I remember my mother saying that she was in Dallas, Texas, whenever JFK was assassinated, right? She was actually telling me the story of how she was near the area where JFK was assassinated. She can actually tell me stories about whites only, no colors allowed, and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? And if you can only imagine, you know, my mother being in that era, so they had us at a late age, right? So my grandparents, her mom and dad, you can imagine when they were born. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So they had us at a very late age. You know what I'm saying? So um, I appreciate that because I can understand now what we're going through right now as a country and as a society, and how my mom and dad, yeah, shit, my dad was picking cotton, bro. You know what I mean? For real. He was picking cotton, and it wasn't at the slavery type mentality, but still, he was still picking cotton. You know what I mean? Picking cotton. My grandfather making him be out there in the fields picking cotton. You know what I mean? And so he only had a sixth grade education, but had more sense in his pinky finger than most PhDs. You know what I mean? Very intelligent dude. You know what I mean? He had more common sense than anybody. You know what I'm saying? So, um, but anyways, Joe, you heard what me and I know you were in the bushes or whatever, man. So, um, tell us what this day means to you, because Joe, you are very much similar to me and Jimbo. You know, your dad meant a lot to you. You know what I'm saying? My mom meant a lot to me. So tell us, tell us briefly how you feel about this. About it's 10 o'clock, 10:10 p.m. here in Texas. So we got 2 hours until Sunday. But tell us your thoughts about Father's Day.
I've been thinking a lot about it actually this weekend because my son left to his dad's, so I've been by myself um, for the last 2 days, and so it's been a lot of reflection for myself. Um, I'm not, I'm glad he's with his dad. I really am because it gives me time to think about my dad, right? And I'm it's I don't know how to explain it, and I don't know if I should, but I'm not in a sad place, so to speak. It's like I'm celebrating the time that I had with him, and I'm just very grateful for the time that I had with him and everything that he taught me and he was for me, because that's what I have to concentrate on, the everything he taught me and everything he was for me. And so that's what I reflect on. And you guys were talking about because I also was thinking about Juneteenth and things like that, right? And I wanted to talk about something that I think my dad told you the story,
He
but
did. He did. I'm glad you
um,
brought that. About to bring it up.
but my dad was a football player in high school, and so he hung out with the football players. And so there was this one occasion where we were from Corpus Christi area, and so I want to mention this story. Um, in Corpus Christi, I don't know if you've ever been there, Jimbo, or you probably, 'cause I don't know if you've ever been to Texas, but so when you're in Corpus Christi, it's along the Gulf of Mexico. It's on the water, and so they were actually like bar hopping. He told this story about he was in high school and he was bar hopping with other high at the time it was they just went into different bars and stuff like that even in high school. And but he was walking, and the football players he hung out with a lot of black guys. And so they're walking on shoreline, which is along the water, right? And they're walking on shoreline, and there was some white guys that were in a car with the top down, and the white guys were driving by them, and he's walking with the other black guys, and they were honking at them, and they were driving by them, and they started calling them the N-word. And the other guys weren't even mad about it because they just started laughing and saying, hey, they called you the N-word, because he was with them. So they just thought it was funny because they were calling my dad one too, basically, And so he was telling that story because it was very, very racist. He grew up in it. He grew up amongst it, and they just thought it was funny because they were calling him one too, because he was with them also. But so anyway, he just always told those kind of stories that it was real. It was real that he dealt with, and because when he was in elementary, he went to an all black and brown school. Like, it was very segregated, and so he had to go to a segregated school, and it was just blacks and browns that went to that school. So he's told, a lot of stories and stuff that he dealt with. And I just appreciated my dad because he stood 10 toes down. You know what I'm saying? He was not he always laughed because he would always say, he had 4 daughters, and he had son-in-laws all different colors, because we were all married to different races. So my dad always dealt with, you know what I mean? He wasn't, anyway, he just dealt with a lot of stuff, and he wasn't, I just love my dad. Anyway, so.
Absolutely. The queen is on the panel. The queen.
Hey, I said what I said.
Hey, Joe. Hey, SBK. Hey, Jim Bob.
What's up?
How you guys doing tonight?
She said, hey, Jim Bob.
Yeah, Jim Bob.
What the hell?
Are you drinking?
Huh?
Are you drinking?
No, I'm babysitting. I got my grandbaby for the summer.
Yeah,
She get a pass because it's a Texas thing.
Yes. It's
Oh my God.
the toxicity of it all.
Jimbo, what you drinking on, bro? You still drinking on Tito's?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, this is funny, right? Because it's actually Tito's inside of a Ciroc glass.
Cheetos and Ciroc?
Yeah, my oldest niece, she bought me a 4 set of these. So this is actually like a Ciroc bottle that they cut and made into like glasses. A peach Ciroc bottle.
Okay.
I used to drink a lot of peach Ciroc, so she bought me like 4 of these cups. So, but it's Tito's in there, bro. That's my last drink. I'm done.
Shout out to Ciroc.
Hey, how about I thought y'all said Cheetos? I said Cheetos and Ciroc.
I said what I said, been drinking.
No. I really haven't. I really haven't. I have not been drinking. No.
Oh my God! Yes. She been drinking.
No. I thought I really thought he's. You heard me say Cheetos and.
I probably did say Cheetos because I've been drinking.
Yeah, oh, okay. You were drinking, so don't put that on me. I'm good tonight.
Oh my God! Okay.
But I wanted to come up here, and I have to turn the trajectory. How you said trajectory? Say it the Texas way. We don't. You know how it is in Texas. They don't teach you the right shit. So the trajectory. But I just want to shout out to all the uncles, all the grandfathers, all the stepfathers, and all the men that stepped up to the people who didn't have a father. And I'm kind of jealous listening to you guys' stories, because you guys grew up with your dads, right? And I know it's
I grew up. Let me rephrase. I grew up. My grandfather raised me.
Your grandfather raised you? Oh, okay.
So he's one of those men you talk about that stepped in.
Yeah. Because I didn't have a father, but I had a lot of uncles, which were his brothers. Okay. So he didn't do what he was supposed to do, but his brothers stepped up to the plate. My grandfather stepped up to the plate. My uncles on my mom's side stepped up to the plate for me and my siblings because we didn't have a father when we were growing up. My mom was married, and so when you like 10 or 11, that ain't your daddy. That's your stepdaddy. And if he would have came around when we was like 3 or 4, then he probably could have been our father. But you coming around and I'm finna be a teenager, you're not my daddy. You just somebody my mama married. Because teenagers, I'm just saying.
You just being honest.
It is what it is. Look, okay, because let Joe bring somebody home and see if her son gonna call him daddy.
He gonna call me.
He gonna call you complaining SBK.
He gonna call me complaining like a fofo.
Do he call you pops or bonus pops?
He called me bonus dad though.
Yeah.
Bonus dad.
Yeah, but kids don't adapt to stepfathers like that, if they're not around at an early age. Sometimes they do if the stepfather really, lay it on thick with the kids. But most of the time, you're not really looking at this dude as a stepfather. You're looking at him as your mama's husband.
Sure.
And so that's how our dynamic was. So he never really was a father to us. He was just, her husband. Yeah. And he was a father to my little sister because that was his child. But the other three, me, my sister, and brother, he really wasn't. We didn't look at him like that. She did, but we didn't because he wasn't our dad. And plus, we didn't really like him. So,
Yeah.
But it's not about him. It's really about giving props to all the other people, all the other men that step up to the plate when the fathers are not there. And that's one thing I made sure that my kids had was a relationship with their father, whether I was with them or not. I always made sure that we co-parented together, and we were always in different cities co-parenting together. And just to take this back to the show that you just did a while ago, SBK, when you guys were saying that you need the father in the home, or it's just something about a father. Well, the school they didn't call me when my son was messing up in school. I gave them his father's phone number. His father was 3 hours away. And all they had to do was pick up that phone and call his dad, and Buddy would straighten up. Because it's something about a man, and it's something about a man's authority, and it just make little boys fly straight. So I always made sure I had a great relationship so that we could co-parent, so I could try to, give him the best life that I could give him.
Yep. I noticed what you don't know. I pay attention. I pay. You was in the chat preaching too, and I was talking to you. I don't know if you was paying attention. I was talking to you. You spent some gems in that in that chat, and I was like, damn. I said what I said is really spitting. You know what I mean?
Well, it hit home because I had to do that with my son and my daughter. I did that. Yeah. And I, once the thrill is gone with me and their daddy, I'm just this type of person. I don't care who you get with after I'm done. You can do what you want to. And that's what the problem is. It's a lot of women can't accept a new relationship with a ex-man, whether they with them or not. And that's part of the problem, part of the reason why a lot of kids don't even know their father, because the mama is mad or the daddy is mad because, somebody got a new relationship and they're not happy with it. So, or if they have to pay child support, and you shouldn't even have to force anybody to pay child support for their child. But, it's like some men get mad because they have to pay child support. So they don't give children no time because they're mad at the mama. And I used to have to preach to my brother. So what, you don't have a relationship with their mother? So what, you don't like them? These are still your kids.
Yeah.
And you need to work with these women and co-parent with them the best that you can. I don't care if they hollering and screaming at you or whatever. It's only temporary. You're not with them. It's not like you got to deal with it on a daily basis. But have that fight with them. Make it known that you want to be a father. Let that kid know, that you are trying to be there for them, because nothing is worse than a kid that don't respect their parent.
Yep.
Especially a boy respecting his father.
Yep. I want to, and y'all can chime in too, Joe and bro. I was listening to you, and I told you, I said what I said. I have a photographic memory. You know what I mean? I was listening to you, you were saying how we were talking about, and somebody brought up on Candy Cane's panel about how, you know, excuses and so forth and so on, and how we playing, we got the blame game and all that. And I noticed something that you said. You was in there spitting game. You basically were saying, you know, as far as not taking accountability, you know, our culture, black and brown culture, you know what I'm saying, especially with our people, you know what I mean, we tend to blame teachers and so forth and so on. And I noticed a statement that you made, and like I said, Jimbo and Joe, y'all can chime in after the Queen speaks, but I noticed what you said, Queen. You was like, you know, you never did have that problem, and you made a statement saying basically it's not what you say and how you say it, basically. You know what I mean? And how you communicate with your children is very important. You know what I'm saying? And especially as fathers and as parents, you know, you wanna elaborate on that, because I was like,
Yeah.
I was like,
Well,
shit. I said what I said is spitting. I wish I'd tell her ass to get on this.
I didn't want to come up there.
I was like, shit. You need to get your ass up on this panel.
Well, y'all had enough people up there on the panel.
Yeah, there was enough ninjas up
Yeah,
there.
and they wasn't allowing each other to talk or what have you. So sometimes, you know, you have to just, you know, say what you're gonna say in the chat. You know, I mean, that's what I did. And but what I was saying was, it's not what you say, it's how you say it, and it's not what you do, it's how you do it. And really, that's a song Marvin Cease song about. But it's really, really, really true. And as far as the teacher and the kids and the opposite parent, if they're not together or whatever, kids need to know that all adults are on the same side. Because if you go up to that schoolhouse and you curse that teacher or principal out, and that kid knows that you did that for them, they're never going to straighten up. They're never going to act right, because they're going to say, my mama got my back. I can act the way I want to act. And this teacher better not do anything to me because I'm calling my mama. And I hate to see parents go up there and clown the teacher. Even if the teacher is in the wrong, as long as they didn't put the hands on the kid, if they doing something to your kids, because all teachers are not innocent, but most of them are. Most people that teach school love kids and they want to be there. And they're teaching because that's something that they love. Because being a teacher, first of all, they don't get paid that much. So to me, it's like an act of service, like you serving your country, in my opinion. And I feel like, you know, we really do need to respect teachers, because guess what? Those teachers are with your kids as much as you are. Because if you have a full-time job, right, you're gone anywhere from 8 to 12 hours out of your home, depending on how much you have to work, unless you like SBK, the hardest working man in Texas. And, you know, you're working 24/7. But think about it. Those teachers are responsible for your kids anywhere from 7 to 3. That's what, 8 hours? So and then like if they get out of school at 4 or 5 o'clock, you come home, you cook them dinner, they're in bed by 10. So in actuality, the teacher has spent more time with your child than you do.
Yep.
So those teachers are helping raising your child.
Yep.
And you need to look at those teachers as a partner and a partnership. Now, if a teacher is out of line, because I did have a teacher that was, you know, handling my son too harshly in the kindergarten. And I did go up there and curse her out, but that's not why I cursed her out. I cursed her out because she was flirting with my husband right in my face. Him and her was just way too friendly, so I had to cuss both of them out, you know, right there, doing in there.
You was flirting with the preacher.
She was flirting with that old jackleg preacher. And
I'll be damned.
Right, yeah, right there in my face. You know, to me, they was too lovey-dovey. They was too friendly to each other. Because when she was talking, you know, you could tell the difference. You know, when you're talking with someone, you can feel chemistry or what have you. Yep. And I just noticed when she would address me, it was just real direct and professional. But with him, she's smiling and and cheese and you know real softer towards him,
Right.
and he cheesing or whatever. And so I just cussed both of them. I said, "Well, like, what the hell is this shit? What are y'all doing? Y'all gonna just do this right in front of me?" but but I was just really trying to take care of my son, really, because he was in kindergarten then. And you know, when kids are in kindergarten, it's a hard transition from them to come from the home to go to school, because a lot of kids are, you know, they're used to getting special attention from their parents, and they feel like their world, you know, everything revolves around them. So in kindergarten, it's kind of hard, especially for little boys, because they do cling to their mothers. So a lot of times, little boys will be a little bit more active in kindergarten, and they may be a little bit more rowdy, and, you know, and it may take them a little bit longer to get used to school and the hours and the structure of it all, because that's really what school is. It's about structure. And some kids don't get structure at home, and and then you try to structure them at school, and that's where your problem comes in at. You know, it becomes, you know, it get kind of, you know, wonky in between those two spaces. And so, as a parent, you have to try to bridge that gap, and you have to try to work with that teacher, and you also have to talk to your child, and you know, and give them the rules and regulations, and make sure that they following your authority if you have any. Because I noticed a lot of these parents just don't even have authority over their children.
Right.
They have to tell their kids to do stuff 2 or 3 times, and so when they go to school, that means the teacher got to tell them 2 or 3 times.
Facts.
So that's
Yeah,
that's that's,
I
that's
know,
what I meant about that.
but I noticed that you was like, hey, I never had that. You know, me and the teachers were on the same page. You know what I'm saying? You was really
Yeah,
involved in that. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. I was very instrumental in both of my kids' life when it came to school. Cause I had some badass kids. I ain't gonna lie. Like Coach said, y'all know what kind of kids y'all have. You know, stop playing like your kid's so precious and they perfect and they don't do anything. You know what your kid does and don't do. So I know my kids. And I knew the tricks and shenanigans they were gonna pull. So when the teacher would call me or send a note home or what have you, I get on their butt about it or whatever. I never said, "Oh, these teachers just picking on you and I'm gonna get her straight." No, 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 no. My children knew. If they brought something home from the teacher or from the school or whatever, they're gonna if you got in trouble in school, you're gonna get in trouble at home at my house.
That's what it used to be with me. You know what I mean? And here at this in this household, if Pooh got in trouble at school, which she
Hmm.
never did, you know, she would hear about it from me. That's all there is to it. You know what I mean? But I will say this here. You know, uh, that was a great live, and I said what I said. I saw you spitting game in the chat. You know, Joe was spitting game. I think Jimbo, he popped up in there. You know what I mean? Um, Jimbo, I'm gonna ask you this, bro. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not gonna be long on this panel. I'm about to end this thing. I'm gonna ask you this. This is a twofold question, bro. And I know that you can answer this, and I know you can answer it in a very timely, and not timely, but in a very, you know, poignant fashion. You know what I'm saying? Real fashion. In your opinion, bro, how important are fathers today in time? And before you answer that, you know, we were talking about the Carmelo Anthony case here in Texas and all of that, you know what I mean? But we were talking about the case, but it wasn't so much about the case. It was so much about how we can teach those, you know, that are our children, how we can be preventative and how we can learn from this situation. So, in your opinion, bro, how important, with what I just told you, how important are fathers in today's time? And the floor is yours, bro.
Oh, I mean, the short, simple, and sweet answer is very important, bro. From the benefits I experienced from my grandfather and the men, my uncles, who always was around, it gives the young boys an opportunity to. So you have some people who are auditorial, some people who are people that could just open up a book and read everything, and then you have some people who are visual. I think when you got a father in the house, it gives that necessary physical, mental, and emotional element that the sons or little boys in the house need, because even at times where we're not paying attention, those little kids be watching us. They watch how we talk. They watch how we respond to situations. They watch the way we dress. They watch our mannerism. I can remember as a kid watching how my grandfather got dressed for work. I remember he had a beard like I got now, and I remember every morning he would always take these scissors and he would clip the loose strings on the beard, and he would get it to look as neat as possible. And that would be the last thing he would do. So he would have all this hair on his janitorial shirt. And I remember, I never knew, I figured out he used to have the roller thing where you get lint off, and he used to use that to get the hair off of him. So it's hygiene, it's how you respond to women, it's etiquette, it's how you conduct yourself around other males, it's the role. You get the opportunity to observe and experience the role a man plays in a marriage or in a relationship, how they protect the household, how they provide, etc. It's very important, and it's not to take anything away from single mothers. You know what I'm saying? It's just answering the question at hand that you said, the significance and the importance of having that male role model in the house. Because sometimes it's not necessarily a father. It could be an older brother who just have like a 10 to 15 year gap span between their younger siblings. You know, and although you may look at that, because my father turned 15 10 days after I was born. So my mom was 14 when she got pregnant with me, and my dad, my biological father, was. So it's like I have a huge gap between some of my siblings on my father's side, to the point where, yes, I'm their older brother, but I'm so much older than them, they look at me like a father figure. So they're watching me in the capacity and how I carry myself, not from an older brother perspective, but more like a father perspective as well. And so that's very important, man, because women channel their emotions different than men. And I think it's important to have a male role model in the house that knows how to regulate their emotions as well. Because oftentimes I see little boys, when they act out emotionally, they're actually mimicking the behavior sometimes from their mother or the female caregiver. But there are also men who are in the household, adult men in the household, who don't know how to regulate their emotions, and that behavior is passed down to the young boys as well. So it's very important. And I think as a 45-year-old man, the work isn't done. You know, I'm a work in progress as well as a father myself. So I'm constantly working, taking game from other fellas who I respect the way they're maneuvering and how they're parenting their children, you know, how they handle things when they get tough and stuff like that. But it's very important, man. And I think too that one of the things I'm appreciative of is that my grandfather and my uncles that was around, none of them treated us like a friend. like I see that a lot with my colleagues. Like they have these friend relationship with their children, and what happens is the waters get murky because when disagreements happen, you can see the conflict and how sometimes their children talking to them like they're their equal. So I appreciate the fact that my pops, he always gave me and my siblings an opportunity to speak our mind. But one, you gonna know how to say what you gotta say. And two, he always reminded us that just because I'm giving you this platform to voice your opinion, don't ever get it confused that I'm your equal or your friend. And so that always put us in a position where, especially in my neighborhood with my homies too, we always respected the elders. You know, so I was listening to her say what I said, you know, even when she was talking about in the school setting and teachers raising your children and stuff. I could recall, man, our community was so close knit in Miami that a lot of the schools we went to, people in the community already knew the teachers outside of them being teachers. You know what I'm saying? So the male security guards, the male teachers, the male, they knew us. And even we watched them and how they conduct themselves in professional settings as well. The way they dress, how they talk, how they would code switch. All of that stuff is important, man. So having men in the house is very important. And if you're in a situation where there's not a man within the household, I would say just having that male role model in our young boy's life is very important. So.
Very good. Very good. Very, very well said, bro. I appreciate that. All right, Joe. Your turn.
I want to, I want to agree with you completely. And I didn't, I said what I said was talking about co-parenting and being able to co-parent. And although I didn't have that, so to speak, co-parenting, but everything I did, whatever sacrifices that I made or choices that I made were sacrifices, but I made them for my son. It was always about whatever I did, because I did everything that I could so I wouldn't break up the family, right? That way we would be a family unit, because I wanted to break cycles, and I didn't want my son to have to be in a broken family, right? But it was not, I had to do that, right? It wasn't possible to keep it together. That's fine. But even after everything, the choices that I made, it was all about my parenting or being a mother. That was what, just kind of like what SBK was talking about on the other panel. Every choices that he made, it was about being a parent first, or putting our kids first, right? And so that's the choices that I made. I made the choices about revolving around my son. When I was going to be a single parent, I had to make the choices and figure out, okay, how am I going to maneuver this to be a present parent and make sure that I stayed near his father, regardless of what choices his father made. In being present in his life, I made sure that I stayed near his father. That way his father had access and he had no excuses, right? Because I could have easily, I wasn't from here, so I could have easily moved back home, which was like 7 hours away from where his father was or from. But I made the choices, hey, no, I'm going to stay here. I'm going to stay near his father, so his father has no excuses of why he doesn't see his son. So whatever choices he made beyond that, that was his choice, right? But either way, I'm just saying all that to say that I I made sure that I always put my son in a situation where he was near his father had access to him, and if he wasn't, or it wasn't always there, I made sure that I had him in front of male figures, because it is very important. I can't teach a man to be a man, much less a black man. That's what, my son is mixed, and I can't teach that, and I don't care. And it's probably not popular with a lot of feminist women, and I've been around women where, they challenge what I say, or how I brought up my son and made sure that he was around male figures, and they've challenged me with it. But it's I know you all agree. I couldn't teach a boy to be a man. And I wanted to make sure, whether his mentors at church, his mentors in SBK, and my best friend, and his grandfather, I just made sure that I always kept male figures around, because it is important. It is important. I mean, I could not teach him. But I did want to touch on something. I know I've been talking too long, sorry. But I wanted to touch on something. And I know this is not popular either, but I know a lot of people with the Carmelo Anthony, right? Was that his name? Carmelo Anthony? I had to have a conversation with my son about it. And it's not so much about, seeing, we were talking about it earlier. And it's not so much about fighting the system and fighting everything and whatever, but it's more, I think it goes more like what Jimbo was saying, the emotion in the situation, and talking to him, like, how are you going to deal with these situations? And, if you're put in that situation. And I think that's the conversation that we have to have with these young men, these young boys, because my son is the same age. My son is 18, and he's the same age. And if somebody, I'm sorry, Black Peace Zone, but my son is the same age as Carmelo is, and so if you're put in that situation, yes, you have a knife. Yes, you have ways to, but throw hands and take care of the situation. Like, well, how are you going to deal with it? I mean, I'm just, I don't know. I had to have a conversation with him about, if you're put in that situation, and my son is brought up a certain way, and he's very empathetic, and he's very, but hey, you can be, people. Although my son is like, he's 6'2", and he towers, but either way, somebody's going to try to challenge you, and you need to know how to handle yourself, and the thing is, if somebody doesn't come to you with certain thing, if they come to you with hands, throw hands. If they come with you with a knife, throw a knife. You know what I'm saying? That kind of thing. I had to talk to him with. We have to have these conversations and ask them, how would you handle it? We have to have these conversations with our kids. And I wanted to mention that. Sorry, talk too much. Sorry, Peace Down. Come on up. Can he come back up? Can he come on up?
Look like you're on the phone. But let me address something that Jimbo said, and see, Jimbo, I done renamed you, and baby, I'm not getting rid of that name once I put it in my mind. But you're absolutely right about women being very emotional when they handle certain situations, because I can remember screaming at my son and just all upset of things that he used to do. And I was like, I'm just gonna call your daddy, and I call his daddy, and his daddy and I'm all excited telling him what's going on, what his son did, and this and that and the other. And his daddy would get on the phone, and he'd be just as calm and steady, and and just have a conversation with him. And a lot of times I will be so upset because I expected so much more out of him. And, I don't think my point was getting across because of the way that I was delivering it. And it was a lot of times I had to have his daddy call and talk to him and, in a rational, calm voice and to get the point across, because sometimes, the way that you deliver your message, it could be unheard because of your actions. And as far as your son go, Joe, I look at the Carmelo Anthony situation as these were kids, right? You never know what's going to happen to you on school grounds. You never know who's going to try to, mess with you or start crap with you or start a fight with you or what have you. I just don't think that that dude had time to think. I just think he saw all those boys around him. He's outnumbered. So the only thing he could do, that was the only answer that he had for self-defense, was to bring his knife out. Because if the story is correct, if you got 3 or 4 people jumping you, what are you going to do? Are you going to just keep your knife in your pocket and let them beat the crap out of you? Or are you going to get your knife and start sticking? Because you got 3 or 4 people on you. So I don't look at that. And then a lot of times you in the spur of a moment, a lot of times you don't have time to think. You go into, flight mode.
Yep.
Huh?
Survival mode. Yeah.
You go into survival mode. So we could try to prepare them as much. And I'm not saying that you're telling him the wrong thing, Joe, but I'm just saying life is just not that simple and easy sometimes. And, everything is not going to, you know what I mean? Everything is just not going to go the way that you're taught. You just have to have enough knowledge, self-awareness, self-control, and a great mentality to try to handle, you really try to talk yourself out the situation or try to walk away in this day and time. And it's so dangerous because even if you walk away, who's to say that the other person might not have a pal? You know what I mean? So I don't know what you do if 2 or 3, 4 people trying to jump you. I don't know too many people that wouldn't have pulled their weapon out like that. I just don't know that. Because I know I would have pulled mine out. If I had 3 or 4 people jumping me, yeah, I'm definitely going to try to help defend myself.
Absolutely. That's the reason why I say it's a teaching moment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And in our state, though, you guys, because Joe and SBK, we're all in the same state. We do have that stand your ground law.
Stand your ground law.
That's supposed to, work for you if you fear for your life. And you can't tell me that this dude that's what, 5'8", 130 pounds, wasn't fearful of his life from someone that's 6'1" or 2" with 220 pounds.
Exactly. Both those twins were 6'2", big boys. You know what I mean?
They were both big boys. So yeah, he's gonna try to defend himself.
Shout out to you, Lisa J. Star. I don't even see you where you are, Lisa J. Star.
But and also too though, let me just go ahead and answer the question too. I feel like a father is very extremely really mandatory in the house if you can. It's mandatory. If you can, you really need to try to, parent. If you have kids, you really do need to try to stay together for the kids. And if you can't, you still need to co-parent and be on the same page. There's nothing wrong with you, choosing your life and your happiness also, because sometimes that's what it comes down to. You can't be depressed and be in a horrible, terrible relationship just for the kids either. So you got to try to finagle your way through the situation and try to co-parent the best way you can. And some people don't make it easy for you to co-parent with them. And I know as a woman, I've seen plenty of women, and even Black P put it in the chat, being a just being a bitch and won't let them out, won't let the man see their kids. And that is crazy to me. Baby, let me tell you something. I couldn't wait for the summer to get. I had those kids packing those clothes up on the last day of school. Honey, they had their cases packed to go to their daddy house. I couldn't wait for them to get to their daddy house. And I don't know what's wrong with these crazy women that don't want these kids to be with their father, especially if the father want to be, in their lives. That's a break for you.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I couldn't wait for that. I couldn't wait for them to get their bags packed for the summer. I love my kids dearly, but yeah, I needed a break also. So baby, let me tell you something, baby. I had them suitcases packed. You can have them any day of the week you want them. That's one thing that they never could say about me, that I tried to keep their kids. If anything, I'm pushing their kids off on them. They never had to worry about spending time with them. You rest assured that.
I said what I said. I wanted to chime in on something you mentioned. You talked about your response to your child versus his dad response. And I don't hear enough conversations about the significance of how we interact with our children. I can remember when I was a child, my grandmother, she was a screamer. My grandmother was Jamaican, and my grandmother was just scream to the top of her lungs. Like, she would talk to us very aggressive all the time. And I remember my grandfather, one time he stopped her and he told her, and he said, if you okay with a woman talking to your sons the way you talking to your children, then you keep talking to your grandsons like that. And if you want a man, if you want another woman to speak to your daughter the way you speaking to your granddaughter the way you speaking to her, then you keep talking to her like that, because we're the first line of teaching our children what do we consider normal communication. And oftentimes you hear people say, well, I can say that because that's my child. And what you're not realizing is that that little boy that you screaming at and you talking to like that, when he fall in love with a woman and she start talking to him the same way, he gonna let her talk to him like that because he has become acclimated to mama talking to him like that. And so he's immune to hearing that volume, that rhetoric, and that tone being delivered to him. And because he's in love with her, he has committed to her, that becomes normal communication to him. And here you go, mama, looking at the way his wife or his girlfriend talking to him, and you got a problem with it. But at the same time, you're the one that initiated that normalcy in your child life because of the way you talk to him. And it's the same thing with fathers, right? Like, if you're always screaming at your daughter and it's coming across in a very abusive and a very volatile manner, when you're talking to her about things she didn't do and stuff like that, and when she fall in love with a man and she feel like it's her obligation to do what she got to do for her husband or whatever, and when he raised his voice up like that and roaring at her, it actually is going to bring her back to how her dad used to talk to her. And some may find it offensive, but most may find that to just be common communication. And most times people match that energy. So they get the yelling back too. And they get to talking like that. And the reason why I mention that it came from my grandparents is because I go through that with my baby mama. I could be on the phone with her and my son would be doing something and she just get to yelling. And I just tell her, like, if you want your daughter-in-law to talk to our child the same way, then you keep talking to him. And she really didn't understand it until she started seeing our son scream at his little brother like that. Then she like, you don't talk to him like that. That's your brother. And I would tell her, well, you don't talk to your son like that. That's your child. Like, there's a way you can discipline a child and stand on business and get him or her to do what the hell they got to do, besides yelling to the top of your lungs and telling him or her, you get on my goddamn nerves, you never listen to me, you a hard-headed bastard, and X, Y, and Z. Because that type of yelling at your child is going to become that child's normalcy. So when he get out there and he feel like this chick ain't up to par, you know, you get on my goddamn nerves. Every time I turn around, your ass ain't doing shit, and blah, because that's his way. That's how he's been raised. And so my son mom now, she sees it, but it took for her to observe how he would communicate to his little brother. And it took her husband, because she's married, to say, well, you talk to him like that, you know? And so we got to be mindful of that the first line of teaching our children what type of communication style to accept comes directly from in the home. So when I talk to my kid, man, my son, or even my nephews and nieces I raised, I'm intentional about making sure, one, I got to regulate myself, because the enemy want to say some things I know that can be extremely damaging, because I see things in them and I see the potential in them that they simply can't see yet, because they're teenagers. They're still babies. We as adults don't even know our full potential. And so I'm very cognizant of making sure, like, I will talk to my 25-year-old nephew. I'll be like, look here, man, check this out, player. You know, you're moving wrong right now. You know what I'm saying? I understand you feel like you doing X, Y, and Z like this, but check it, nephew. This is how you got to approach this situation. This is just my opinion. And he listened. Like you say, your child will listen to his dad. He will listen. Like, I got you. Yeah, I ain't look at it from that perspective. But if I get on there and be like, man, what the hell you doing? You know, why would you say that to her? Why would you do that to her? You're a damn fool. He gonna check out. He gonna go to him like, man, I ain't trying to hear that shit. You know, so communication and teaching our youngins what is considered appropriate communication starts at home, and it starts with us as parents. So that was a good example you gave by how he would listen to his dad, who was more calm, who would speak at a more appropriate volume, versus you saying the same thing and you feel like your child checking out on you. So I just wanted to touch on that.
But in the mother's defense, it's a lot of times, you know, when you're raising kids, you got a lot of stuff that you're dealing with or whatever. But so like you said, you have to take the time to calm down. And that was one thing that his father, you know, even though we weren't together or whatever, he always could calm me down. Or, you know, we would have a conversation and he would say, well, you know, you doing this or whatever. And I would listen to him, you know, because a woman can't raise a boy, a man. So I took his advice and I listened to him. And I'm not saying that I dotted all the I's and crossed all the T's, because yes, sometimes I would get upset. But one thing that I would never do, and one thing I cannot stand, is for a grown up to curse a kid out. I cannot stand that, or for an adult to call a little girl a B or H, and a man to call a little boy a MF, or the N word. And so sometimes I would slip up and say the N word to my son, and he was like, "Mom, please don't say that. Don't call me that, Mama. That word is offensive to me. Don't call me that." And I would just be doing it as a joke, you know, just be joking around or what have you. But, you know, he's the one who made me stop even saying that word so much, because my son said, he didn't like that word. But that's one thing that I didn't do, was curse him out. I never did that. I may tell him to go get his book A somewhere and sit down or what have you. But as far as calling him names and, you know, degrading his character and all of that, us as parents, a lot of parents do that, and they don't realize the damage, like you said, Jimbo. They don't realize the damage that they're doing to their child, because you're teaching your child to take abuse is basically what you're doing, and not have an effective communication style.
Facts. And all of us fall victim to that, because think about it, right? As adults, we dump a lot of shit on people who we consider our safe space. They get a lot of shit that they don't cause. If we have a frustrated day at work, we come home to our husbands and wives or girlfriends or boyfriends, we dump all that shit on them. All of it. You know what I'm saying? And we do the same thing with our kids, man. We do the same thing. Like, we take out a lot of frustrations that we're personally going through on the child, because they safe. You know, they ain't gonna do nothing. They ain't gonna hurt us. Well, most of them, they ain't gonna hurt us or anything like that. And we found ourselves taking out stuff on them that they didn't even cause, man. You know, my grandma used to say that, give it to them who caused it. And it's easier said than done, you know, because if that's the case, my ass would be fired by now at work. But it's a work in progress. And I still slip up sometimes because of that frustration, like you say, that load that we carry, the extra load that we carry. roles that we've been vetoed to take upon, that we ain't asked for, but we do it for family purposes, for whatever purposes it may be. And we have a lot in our backpack. And then when we unload, sometimes we just unload.
Exactly, and that's what be going on sometimes. The mother is upset or frustrated, or the father is frustrated, and the day didn't go right, so they come home and take it out on the whole house. And it's something that we're gonna have to learn how not to do, as far as parenting go. But I wanted to ask this one question to the men. Um, do they still have mentorship for boys? Because it seems like I don't see Big Brother commercials no more, and I don't see anything on social media or in the news or anything about anybody mentoring the black boys.
We had 2 good programs here where I'm at, man, but unfortunately,
They gone.
because of the climate of this country, funding got cut. And I
Yeah.
mean, they used to have like midnight basketball tournaments, right? Because, there's that gap between foster care and exiting, right? And so, like, what do you do with that group of kids? That age out of foster care, who completes that AA or, anything like that 18, 19, 20. So they used to have a midnight basketball midterm thing that would go on, man, to keep the kids out the streets and stuff like that. And during the day, they would do a lot of like community service activities, like teaching them about OJT stuff. And one of the guys work out at the gym where I work out at, man, and he was just telling me, he was like, man, we got to shut the program down, man. They cut funding. And I was just like, sheesh. So I don't know, to answer your question, where I'm at. I don't know. I knew of 2 of them and both of them gone.
To answer your question here in East Texas, Queen, we don't have that. So I've just taken the initiative to kind of like in my own little vicinity of young people, that work for me and so forth. I've just taken on that role. You know what I mean? Whether it's family or community, I just take on that role myself. But I wish it was more. Like Jimbo was saying, I wish it was more, but there's not really a program around here that I know of. So, yeah.
Well, I feel like that's part of the problem.
I
Because
agree.
my brother and them had the boys club, and then they had a mentoring program. You had several men that used to just volunteer to be mentors to boys. And I just don't see that no more. And I don't know if it's because all the kids are in the house or the parents are being too overprotective or you just can't trust the big boy mentorship no more or what. But I just see that, part of kids not having guidance, because let's just keep it real. Everybody not going to have a mama or daddy now. Some kids just going to be lacking. Like the lady said, the one that was the teacher, Tiffany, when she said she was the teacher and she understood all of the socioeconomical problems, that a lot of the kids had when they came to school. And she noticed, they can't learn, if they're missing certain, aspects from the home, certain quality aspects and just the basics, really. Some kids go to school hungry, some kids go to school dirty, some kids go to school weary, stressed. The kids they got their issues also. And so I just feel like, we're losing generations and generations because the kids not outside enough, they're not active enough, and we don't have enough mentorships, and we don't have enough positive things for them to look forward to.
Very good. Very good. Texas T-Cat, she's from the Houston area. She says it's definitely needed for real, for real. And so I want to say shout out to her. She's absolutely right. Here in East Texas, it's not there. So, it just needs to be, and this needs to be.
Well, it ain't here in West Texas either.
Gotcha. Man, I'm gonna end this thing, man. Y'all showed up and showed out. Shout out to everybody in the chat.
Jimbo, before we end this thing, what's your last words, bro?
Man, happy Father's Day to all men out there. Keep doing you. Keep showing up. Keep trying. I saw boy in the chat was talking about that, man. Keep trying. Don't give up. Happy Juneteenth weekend to all of us. And that's it, man. And keep minding your business. Keep minding your business and staying out the way, people.
Already. Very good. All right, Joe, your time. What you got?
Yes, also happy Father's Day, everybody, everyone in the chat. Also, if you're a father or a stand-in father, happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to you guys on the panel. I'm really honored. I really appreciate you, bestie. I really do appreciate you very much so. And that's it. Thank you so much for having this. I was kind of wondering, why does he want to do it more live? But it was good. It was
good. He knows exactly what I told him.
Go ahead, Queen. I'll go on mute. Go ahead.
Well, I guess it's happy ending landing time. And so shout out to the Knicks. I can't believe the New Yorker didn't shout out the Knicks on their historical 50-year win. It only took them a half a century, but still, shout out to the Knicks. Them New York Knicks. And happy Father's Day to all the fathers in the house that's in the stream, and the ones that's going to be listening to the replay. And the last thing that I want to say is I feel like, at some point in time, including myself, us as a community, everybody gonna have to pick somebody up along the way. Each one is gonna have to teach one in order for us to get out of this crap that we're in. Everybody need to try to find them a child that's in need and just sponsor that child if you can. We're gonna have to try to sponsor kids, and it ain't just the boys need sponsoring. These little girls need sponsoring also. And so we see that it's so much basic skills is lacking in the households these days. And so I hear my little sis Vaughn say she learned a lot from me or what have you. So I already feel like I have somebody under my wing, but I still can take a couple more under my wing. It's no problem. But I just feel like if we all find somebody, and we all know somebody that needs some help, and if everybody can just sponsor one person, I think it'll help our community out, and we can. And it's not going to happen overnight. I see the Black Panthers trying to come back on the scene. Kudos to the Black Panthers. Okay, shout out to the Black Panthers that's watching over the Black community.
Shout out to the Black Panthers.
Yeah, and holding up the Black community. Why you didn't do that for the Knicks? But anyway,
I was too late, Queen.
Don't be no hater now. Don't because the Mavericks didn't make it. Not the Mavericks, San Antonio. I forgot they was even playing because San Antonio didn't. I think San Antonio gave it to the Knicks. They felt sorry for them, but that's another story for another day.
Look.
Yeah, that's another story for another day. But if we all could just find somebody to sponsor, and it's gonna take some time for us to try to get our community together. I'm glad that the Black community is beginning to recognize Black businesses and stuff. So some of this stuff that we're going through we need to go through this. I told you guys this before. We needed Agent Edie Pants to come up and be this. We needed this for America because America need to wake the hell up. It was too many people sleeping, and we had way too many sleeper cells in America walking around thinking everything is fine and dandy and life is great, life is good, and it's not. So we needed this eye-opening experience so that hopefully it'll make more people better people in the future. because of everything that we're having to go through now.
Yep.
And thank you for letting me come up on the panel and run my little mouth.
Very, very good. You are welcome. You already know. You are welcome.
And
Man,
this felt like a long ass date tonight, but I don't know who you think you are.
I agree.
Taking up
Woo!
everybody's eat. I never saw to man. You don't take our eat, man, at night.
I'm trying to bleed the block.
Okay.
I said what I said.
I see.
Jimbo, you know how we used to bleed the block in the day? I'm trying to bleed the block on these YouTube streets. Trying to bleed the block. I'm trying to bleed the block. You know what I mean? So shit. Nah, man. Very good, man. Y'all, everybody on the panel. Jimbo, I said what I said. Drive Glow with Joe, man. Appreciate y'all coming up, and Kevin Corporation, Candy Cane Lane. Appreciate all of y'all. Yeah, man. I appreciate all of y'all coming up, and I appreciate. I said what I said. Miss Alice and Candy Cane Lane for inviting me on their panel this week. I appreciate that. That's been a highlight. But yeah, man, happy Father's Day to everybody, man. To all the men out there, the men that's handling their business, and the men that deserve it. This is your day. In the next, well, here in Texas, it's Central Time, so it's 11:15. So next few minutes, whatever, it's going to be your day. So happy Father's Day. I hope everybody that took the information that, and all the conversation we had tonight, man, I hope y'all can take that, man, and run with it. And we can take today's news and all the nonsense that's going on, man, in today's world. And we can have this as a teaching lesson to our young ones, you know what I'm saying? Of how they can react. I like what you said. I said what I said. You never know how you're going to react in situations. So, we just have to, deal with it accordingly. You know what I mean? So,
Hey, I want to say something real quick because I know a few people I know listen to the replay. Shout out to the fraternities. In particular, my homies who are alphas, they do have a youth mentorship program.
Okay.
So I don't want to leave that out because that's important.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to them.
And I do believe Kappas, Sigmas, Qs as well. I think all of the fraternities have like mentorship programs for the youth. So I want to make sure.
Shout out to those fraternities. Yeah. Absolutely. Shout out to those fraternities, man, that out there doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to them. Already, man. Shout out to all you fathers. I appreciate you bringing that up, bro. There's a lot of fraternities out there doing their job, and I appreciate you bringing it up. So y'all hit the like button, man. Y'all hit the like button, subscribe. I want to say shout out to, hold on before we end this. I want to shout out to a new member. You are right here. Shout out to Ambitions of Arada 101. Shout out to you, beautiful lady, for being a member of the SBK channel. Shout out to you. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I really do appreciate you. Thank you. I appreciate you. So with that being said, look, man, I'm going to end this thing. And thank y'all for coming up. Again, thank you for Joe. Thank you for the queen, my bro, the bro Kevin Corporation. Candy Cane Lane. Thank you all for coming up on the panel, gracing the panel.
Y'all hit the like button as we leave or whatever. You know what I mean? Thank y'all. Thank you all. Thank all of you guys for coming through. I am your boy SBK. Y'all hype up the live. That live hype it up. Hype it up. Hype it up. Hype it up. You know what I'm saying? My boy Black Pete Stone been preaching in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to y'all. My goal is to get my boy on the panel. You know what I mean? I hope I'm working on a call in. You know what I'm saying? A call in. So we're gonna work on that. All right. So one love, everybody, man. Thank y'all all for joining me. One love to y'all. Thank you to my subscribers, my new members, everybody that super chatted, all of my supporters. I appreciate you guys. You know, happy Father's Day to all the real fathers out there, man. It's your time to shine. I appreciate you. Trust me, SBK knows what you're going through. You know what I'm saying? As if you're a real father, you know what I mean? SBK knows. I appreciate y'all. And with that being said, you guys have a great rest of your evening. Don't forget to press the like button. Leave a comment. If you agree or disagree, leave a comment under the comment section. All right? If you're not a subscriber, subscribe to the channel. What the hell are you waiting on? All right? With that being said, man, one love to y'all. I'm out of here. Your boy, SBK, is gone. Salute. Thank everybody for coming through. I will talk to y'all soon. And your boy SBK is gone.
Your voice belongs in this conversation. Thanks for supporting the SBK movement.
Your boy SBK is
like,
gone.
comment, subscribe. Grab your membership, be a part of the movement. We hope you enjoyed the show.
Your boy SBK is gone. And remember, your voice belongs in this conversation. All right? Gone.